Electricians Guide to Everything, Monday Club.
I'm just gonna laugh. I can't do it.
Just do it, man. Stop being a baby.
Welcome to the Electricians Guide to Everything, Monday Club.
Booyaka! Do it again. Do it again. Do it with a little bit more about it.
Oh my god, this is really stressful.
Listen, you want your own podcast, you've got to learn to do your own intros.
Why are you being nasty to me today?
Come on, let's go.
Welcome to the Electricians Guide to Everything, Monday Club. My brain's
Well done, Amy. Well, Amy's ruining that, but it's okay. We can continue.
Sorry.
In the house tonight, we've got Marco Allison back for more grief about being northern and a bit of a weird accent. Hello, mate.
Good evening. How are you all?
Good, mate. Good, mate.
Yeah.
Bundy's in the house as usual. I let him tag along, you know.
Yeah. I'm only here to bump the numbers up, I know.
And Amy is in the house. She is our apprentice correspondent.
She's not an apprentice. I mean,
She's going to be forever now.
for God's sake.
Right, so I'm not drinking rum today. I'm drinking coffee, which is lunacy because now I'm not going to be able to sleep till 12 o'clock. Oh, go on. Wonder where you got that from, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
They're decent, but they don't fit in any cup holders.
They don't, do they? It's a nightmare in the van. I mean, they haven't
Yeah.
thought that through, well, have they?
Fits you, Sam. You don't fit in any seats.
So actually, these are, I don't know, I got gifted this by Super Rod / Klein Tools. It's a Yeti, I don't know, coffee cup type thing. And it's really decent because you definitely know that's an American cup.
Yeah.
It's greedy as all hell, but it's a nice thing to have. Amy, you don't have one because you're not famous enough.
Oh.
I don't have one.
Well, I'll hook you up, Nick. I'll hook you up.
Cheers, bro.
No, you're all right. You're still an apprentice. So what have we been up to this week, ladies and lads?
Who wants to go first? Go on, Mark.
We got our OLEV approval this week, so we've gone for the EV charging course and registration with My Energy and PodPoint, and now we're OLEV registered installers as well.
Nice,
so
mate.
A little bit of a bonus for the business.
Oh, that's
And,
decent, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, we've installed a few EV points already, and the OLEV side of things, people told me to start with was a bit of a nightmare. But from what I've seen, it seems to have been sorted out quite recently, and it doesn't look so bad. So,
Thing
few
is,
domestic installs coming up.
You're quite studious and like quite good with the old paperwork side of things. So it's probably and quite smart if we're honest. There's a reason your head's that big, and
Thanks.
like it's because you're quite smart. So
Any compliment there, yeah.
Nick, don't even get started on your Hey Arnold head.
Joe, I said this to my other half when you said that to me on the phone the other day. So I stood next to her. So I said to her, he keeps calling me a Hey Arnold head. She went, yeah, I see it. I just said to her, I'm a big person. I'm going to have a big head. She was like, yeah, I know, but you.
He's like, what one, Nick? What one?
Brilliant. So shiny.
So what else have you done? What was the My Energy training course like? Because obviously EGTE are big fans of My Energy. I love them to bits. I think Jordan Brompton is probably one of the brightest stars in the electrical industry at the moment. Although, relax a little bit, but she is a bright star in the electrical industry. And yeah, what's that training like?
To be honest, I wasn't sure how to go about getting OLEV registered in the first place, and I emailed My Energy, and within like 90 seconds they'd replied with the whole process, not just for their training course, but what you need to do afterwards as well. So they seem to be really looking after the installers. But it was online. It took about an hour and a half or so, just product training more than anything. So they take you through how to install their particular products, the benefits of all the other bits and pieces that they have, as well as the EV chargers. And then you have to send them in your certificates, and they come back to you with an approved installer certificate, send off to the DVLA and OLEV to get approved.
Wait, DVLA? They're
the ones who are ultimately behind it all, yes. Yeah.
So I was going to start mocking you. But, oh, you send it off to the DVLA?
Well, it's through OLEV, but the DVLA are the people who are actually behind it all.
Yeah, I did not know that.
See, it's the thing I found because I did the course, not the O-level one, but got the installation charging certificate, blah, 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 through NAPIT, which was sound quite an easy day. Enjoyed it, but the problem I found, we used the Rolex tester, was it, to do it all, but then finding out afterwards that if I want to do Tesla ones, I got to do the Tesla course. If I want to do Zappy, I got to do the Zappy course. And I thought, oh, right, okay, it's a day out, whatever, but it is what it is. But then finding out you've got to have their testers to test their products as well, and per tester, what is it, 800 quid? Minimum, really. And you're like, well, the thing is, around unlike Jordan, who in Cambridge, everyone's got loads of money, everyone's having electrical vehicles, you know, it's fine. Around Stafford, two Teslas that I know around Stafford, that's it. And the rest are Nissan Leafs, which you can just have literally an outside socket charging them. They don't need a specialised charging point. So it just sort of, for me, it becomes a bit pointless. It was good to get the certification and next level up for me, but realistically, it's not worth the while around here.
I feel like the point of that, like looking you into, I feel like that's kind of by design. So you would go for just My Energy, or one or two, My Energy or Rolex, or what's the other one, Garo. You wouldn't go mad and get like go across the board unless that was all you was doing. But for someone like yourself, you probably would recommend the charger. You'd probably be asked to recommend the charger, and you don't, and you'll probably go with what you know more so. Same as with fuse boards, you go with what you know usually, don't you?
Yeah, the ones that I've installed that I can hands on heart recommend and know it's going to work in the long run. And I mean, I've seen a lot of Jordan's videos about the Rolex ones. A lot of Rolex chargers have burnt out, and can they be trusted? I don't know, but I don't fit them. I just have no knowledge on it, so I can't really comment.
I might be talking out of turn here a little bit, but I'm sure if a My Energy one fails because it's not the installer's fault, or because it's just failed, they will pay you to go and fix it, rather than like not the customer. My Energy will pay you your fee to go and fix that. Well,
I got a job through YouTube from a customer literally less than a mile away from me up the road, and they'd already had an EV charger fitted. It was a My Energy one, and as I was doing the summer house, they had a problem on theirs, and I think within 24 minutes, an electrician was on his way to come fix it.
Yeah, it
was mint, and I said, "Oh, I can have a look at it for you." It was like, not that I really knew what I was doing. Obviously, I can run the supply to it, put a tester across it, see what. But it was an internal problem, and he said, "No, we'll get someone out, send them across." Within 2 hours, he was there. But I'd already left, but it was a good shout.
Yeah, well, the thing I love about My Energy, and I know this isn't, I'm not hugging My Energy by any means, but from what I know about EV charging, which is not a lot, My Energy are pretty up there. They're made in Britain, designed and made in Britain. Everything, all the components, all the PCB boards, the lot is made in Britain, in their factory in Britain. They just really trying hard at changing the face of what EV is, and it's pretty impressive if I'm honest.
That was one of the things that drew me to them.
By My Energy.
That was one of the things that drew me to them, that they're actually British manufactured. And just going back to the testing, I've got the TIS test instrument services EV testing kit, and I believe that will test all versions of EV chargers. I've been told that's the case. I've only actually tried it on 3 so far, but I think it's down to the plugin that some of them have. There's is it called an SP1 and an SP2, different plugin leads. As long as you've got those, it will work on any EV charge point.
It's a pretty decent bit of kit as well. That hashtag we are sponsored by TIS. Head over to testinstrumentsolutions.co.uk. They are
smooth, mate. Smooth.
I know, I'm good at this now. I don't know, a couple hundred episodes. You know, it's just natural now. But apparently, look at that. Yeah, apparently their EV tester is pretty comprehensive.
Yeah, it is when you combine it with the MFT Pro. So I got both, and it works really well. I'm impressed. The touchscreen on it is real simple. The actual EV charge is robust. EV test point's robust. It's got the physical dials on it, so you can't really go wrong. And the test set walks you through the whole sequence that you need to do. So it's not like you can miss something out, because there's quite a few different tests you have to perform. when you're finishing off an EV installation. So it actually walks you through the whole thing.
See that? Might have learned something today. I did not know that.
Hmm.
Amy, what have you been up to this week?
This week I've worked on a couple of farms on three-phase stuff, which is a bit different for me because I don't do it very often.
What were you doing on three-phase stuff?
Well, there's a farm where I previously fitted a board, my first three-phase board, and we were just putting in like sockets and different things. They're like units that have been rented out, so we're just kitting them out really.
How much for the three-phase boards? The amount of space you've got in them.
I know, it's so nice.
You're not
so
in a little
different.
cupboard either doing this. Oh.
No, yeah, it was good. It was a good day. And the other farm was fault finding. One of the phases was down. What else did I do? First fixed another kitchen. I've done 3 kitchens lately.
Your own work or for the company?
My own work.
Go on, Amy. So you how are you finding that in this day and age? Are you doing all right? Are you finding work quite easily? What are the books looking like?
I'm really busy. Yeah, it's good. I'm really busy at the minute. I get scared, like, because I just thought I'm always like, oh, it could end any minute. It could go quiet, but I've been busy for ages now. So
I still feel the same. Trust me.
Yeah.
It's, 11 years in, I'm still the same. I'm thinking, I've got any work for 2 months. What's going to happen? But the phone always rings. It always happens.
Yeah.
Amy, where do you get your work from?
Where do I get it from? Oh, I don't advertise anywhere. Just word of mouth and friends, family, friends of family, friends of friends, and I've never advertised. So, I mean, I've had my Instagram a few months, but I don't advertise work through it.
Do you think you're going to like brand yourself up, get your van sign written, and see if you can get more work by advertising?
I might do, yeah. Yeah, maybe next year. At the minute, I've got enough on, so.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I don't know if I want my
hear.
van sign written.
Well, personally speaking, when you're first starting off, it's a good idea, 100%.
Really?
Yeah, get your name out there, get recognised, being seen at different jobs, all that sort of stuff, 100%. But like, it's come to me now with a new van, I'm not getting it sign written because I've been established. All my works through word of mouth. I don't need the van. No, shut up, Sam.
Big time.
It's Mark will agree with me. It's different with Mark because he employs people, but I don't need my van sign written, especially because it is just a target. You have your electrician written on the side of your van. Mine's been broken into 4 times. People go, there are other vans together and go, brilliant. We know there's a lot of money inside, but equally, your van should probably be all right.
Oh, you're so mean.
Oh, I'm not. Get some baby bell wheels.
So nice.
No, I do too, and so does Pat.
Oh, dear.
Anyway,
what do you do how do you get your work? Like when you was first starting out, I find this quite interesting. I've never really made it as one-man band electrician, if you like.
Because you're 1.5-man band, that's why.
And I don't really like working hard, so
you
we
like
noticed
sweating.
that.
Yeah.
every week. But Mark,
sorry. Yes, it's Sam. Excuse me a second. I'm just on the phone again. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I think my boss would have something to say about that. I think he'd agree.
Yeah.
But Mark, what did you do in the beginning? Because obviously you're thriving now. You're doing well. You've got a few lads working for you. You've got your boy working for you. How did you get to that position? What did you have to do? What hustling did you have to do with advertising and stuff like that? Tell us that.
We did a lot of subcontracting to start with. So I was like 25, 26. So I'd been knocking around the industry for a bit anyway, and knew a fair few people. So I just started out subcontracting and work built from there. So maybe 18 months, 2 years in, we started taking work direct ourselves, projects that we'd tendered for. And then we went down the road of being a bit sort of niche. So we'd do compliance work and built a lot of customers up through that. So inspection and testing, little things like pat testing. Obviously, then you're the first number on their books for when any electrical issue comes up, and it just spiraled from that, to be honest. So we don't advertise at all. This is all like repeat customers who've used us for a long, long time.
So is that the commercial side, or is that the?
That's commercial, yeah.
But with your domestic side, how did you build that up as well?
Yeah, the domestic stuff I'd sort of left alone for quite a long time until we sort of brought Matthew into the business, and that was to give him the experience of domestic, because I think, well, ironically, that's one of the best places to learn, because you get taught how to pull buildings to pieces, customer relations as well. It's not just running wires and wiring up consumer units, distribution boards. So I used Checker Trade for a little while, which is a controversial one because I know people don't like it.
David Savory. No, yeah, is it Checker Trade?
Yeah,
it is. That was in his rap this morning, wasn't it, man? But yeah, use Checker Trade a little bit, and just word of mouth around the local area. So we know a lot of builders and plumbers, as you do when you're in and around the trades, and just picking up work from them that I'd turned away for quite a long time because we were busy with other bits and pieces. And I'd say we're at the stage now where we're starting to leave domestic alone again, to be honest. We're moving more towards just solely commercial again.
Are you pleased with that?
I prefer it. It's certainly easier in terms of getting in and out and getting your work done, I think. No carpets to pull back, no furniture to move. But I mean, it's horses for courses, isn't it? I'm getting on for 40 now, and I can't be doing with that anymore. No. I could quite easily send Matthew in to do it, but the issue is he can only make so much a day doing that, and he can make a lot more out in a commercial environment. So that's where he gets sent.
It's like when I was
Go on, Sam.
It's like when I was working with Nick, and he had his apprentice Adam up in the loft doing stuff up in the loft, and I went up there to help him, and I got up there and I was like, nah, I'm too old for this shit.
Got sweat on going up the steps, yeah.
Well, that's rude.
Right.
But no,
phone signal in the loft.
But it's either I go up there and sit there and just point it, tell him do that. But I didn't really feel like I actually feel like Adam's probably better than me. So I just felt like a bit of an imposter, and it was hot up there, and I just didn't fancy it. So that's how I know I don't want to do domestic work. Although I've got a job on Saturday doing domestic work.
What are you doing?
Swapping over some lights, changing a dimmer switch.
If you want any advice, you can just ring me and Amy, all right?
I probably will. Do you know what I mean? Like, Nick, why's this dimmer switch not working? But I definitely won't ring Amy because she's my apprentice. Nick, why do you keep shaking your head like that, bro?
Because you're just rude.
I am. That is me. That's Sam, the rude man. But yeah, so I've got a few bits and pieces to do. It's only a couple of hours work maximum. It's for a nice old couple round the corner. I'll have to wear my mask. I'm going to go in shorts and a t-shirt because old people's houses are always way too hot.
Yep.
Way too hot.
I just went to one on the way home tonight. I was absolutely sweating. It was horrendous in there. Tropical.
I don't know why they do it. When you say to them, turn the power off, is the heating going to go off? No. That'd be fine.
And it's just so stuffy in them places. Even in a shorts and t-shirt, I'm going to be sweating so badly.
You would sweat in a cold shower, mate. So don't even try and tell us any different.
Hey, how do you know?
I've got to answer the phone. Oh, sweating. That's it.
I was sweating.
Have you seen that nowadays on Facebook? If you ask a kid our generation, as in me and Amy, not you two old farts, you go, okay, on the phone, you do this. Kids nowadays, if I ask my kids to go on the phone, they do this because they're used to smartphones. Really? Yeah. So I smack them. Ever do that? It's like this. Yeah.
Well, I did
it's really weird.
Week. I did that last week, and you mocked me.
Yeah. See you later, guys. Nice one, Sam. Yeah.
I know. Felt like a bit of a dick afterwards.
Yeah.
I left it in. Right. So we've established that. Nick, what did you do last week? Actually,
another rewire.
Thanks for bringing that.
I tried. It was only a light rewire, so we're doing the wireless switching and a fuse board. And I've just edited the video tonight because it's actually meant to go up tomorrow. And
how good are kinetic switching? Because you can charge the same to put it in as you can.
I charge more.
All right, sweet. Well, I suppose it's more expensive.
The bits cost way more, but the problem you'll see in the video will come out tomorrow, so this will come out after. We took doing a quote. Normally, what I would try and do is in the ICR before board change. Didn't happen. Hadn't enough time. It is what it is. But I thought while we're around there, whip off 5 sockets, whip off 5 switches. No earth on the lighting, and the sockets all seemed fine. Fairly new cable as well. And then when we got literally an hour into the job, we lifted the floorboards up, and there's rubber cable for sockets all around upstairs. Oh. And I rang the customer and said it, but I had my mate Aaron with me again. So we tried to do a light and rewire and a fuse board in a day. I thought, I booked 2 days in for it. I thought it might be possible. And I think I didn't change the fuse board on for editing the video. I didn't start changing the fuse board till 5 o'clock. It took me that long to get rid of the rubber in the house. So yeah.
It's worse
then I had the
nightmare,
day
isn't
off. Yeah. Oh mate, it was just. The thing is, I spoke to I think Chris rang me CJR halfway through the day, says to me about it, and it's true. If it tested perfect, and it really did. The only thing I can come on with was the last socket it ran to was a bit toasty, was a bit crispy, which is usual for VIR. And in any other circumstance, I would say completely rip it out, get rid of it. But it was that good condition of the floor, in the board. I didn't even tell it was rubber in the board because it was that nice condition, and then the test results were perfect. You could have left it in. But equally, why would I do a light and rewire and change the board and go? It was only 2 drops, like 2 legs of the ring. I thought, I'll get rid of it. Spoke to the customer, they went, yeah, get rid of. But it was one of them things where I could have left it and I could have gone, you're allowed to, but obviously noted down that at some point it needs changing. But it was pointless lifting all the floors up and not get rid of it. Do you know what I mean?
Now, once you've seen it, you've done the right thing to get rid of it. I say, even if it's testing out all right, it's probably been in there about 60, 70 years as well.
Yeah, it's the original cable for the house. Yeah. So, but no, it was nice. It was a good job. I didn't get home till about, I think it was about 9:30, 10. But long day again.
Right,
but then I had today off. Sam, shut up. I had today off. It was lovely. Went Christmas shopping. Magic.
Mate.
Bought loads of crap.
Can we just say something about this, right? We're not allowed to talk about Christmas yet. Not till December, bruv, yeah? I don't talk about
you won't like it in my house.
Please tell me you put up your decorations.
I went out to work this morning and they were up. I came back tonight and there might have been some up in my shed, and she hasn't put them up in the front room because she didn't want the neighbours to think we're losers. But my good lady has put them up in the back room and the garden shed.
Do you know what? I'll just literally walk around the house kicking stuff and Christmas tree up the wall and everything. It's not the time yet. It's unacceptable.
My neighbour put the outside lights and blow up Santa up 3 weeks ago.
No, I punched it straight in the face.
I go home every night. I come home to it. My daughter hangs out the window. Christmas lights on. I thought, yep, yes they are.
But how you can put it out before fireworks?
It was end of October. Yeah, they put it out.
How you can put it out before Halloween and fireworks night? It's not acceptable.
I don't think they have anything better to do, to be honest. Yeah.
Let's just go back to something here. So my series that broke the internet, Fat Sam's Grand Slam, it's actually dominating the YouTube channels at the moment. So much so that YouTube have, they keep contacting me to tell me, like, can you take it down? Because it's like blowing up their servers. Actually, Amy's is the best one there. It's done 400 million downloads. It's just smashing it. Now, another thing come out today, which I'm sure will blow up the internet. More than that, is from David Savory. Can we just address it? So, for those
it is next level. Yeah.
David Savory, he's been on EGTE before, but for the new listeners, he is a YouTuber, an electrician. He's the Rick Mao of the industry. For those of you who are not old enough to remember Rick Mao, he is, I don't know, it's just a very unique sense of humour. And David Savory and his sidekick, Nige, have done a rap video. Yours truly, obviously, is makes a guest appearance because famous as shit. But it is insanely funny, is it not?
Yeah, 100%.
It's really funny, especially the bit with you in. Actually, Sam, I like what they call you. That was a good section.
It was on point, I think.
It was spot on. So right.
Amy hasn't watched it yet, have you, Amy?
I've not seen it yet. No.
Right, after this, you need to go straight DSCS Electrical, newest video, and literally watch the first 10 minutes. It
1
is
minute in. It's 1 minute into the new video.
one of the funniest things you'll ever watch.
Okay.
Ridiculous. Yeah, I got
They even
quite
ripped
bad.
me in it as well.
Yeah,
You got ripped. I got ripped.
yeah, I think I got ripped worse.
Yeah, I got ripped for being too good looking. Do you know what I mean? Christ.
Well,
Why are you laughing at me? Well, someone could try and peel you, and you would still be alive for a couple of hours. Let's just put it that way. Fact.
Anyway, listen, right. It's brilliant, and I urge everyone to go and watch it because not only is it funny and ridiculous, I'm in it. You know, made it famous. It's just so on point. Like the
whole video itself.
Yeah.
Not just the rap, but I mean,
the whole video itself is insane.
I know Mark watched the video, but I knew a bit about AFDDs, a little bit. But watching the whole thing, and he has completely changed my perception on the whole thing, 100%.
Mate, his stuff is so valuable, and his videos are long, but they're so valuable because it's like he sort of mocks it and makes it interesting and silly at the same time. It's brilliant. I think he's wasted.
100%. How someone could be, because I mean, I met him. Obviously you've met him. I went to the trade show with him and went walk around with him and whatnot. I spent the whole day. The way he is and the way he speaks, he's just a normal, he's just a normal guy. He's very bit eccentric sometimes, but then when he wants to tell you about something, the stuff he comes out with, the numbers and the words, and I'm sat there like, I feel like you sat next to me, Sam. That's how it feels.
Amy, are you laughing? Idiot. Amy, are you laughing? All right, sweet. Amy, can you tell us?
What? No.
Can you tell us what an AFDD is?
AFDD?
Yes.
Artful detection device.
Boom! Go on, Gil.
Oh, Sam, you've taught her well, mate. Well done.
I know, that's my apprentice. Well, I'm so proud of you.
Cheers.
After I watched that video, I went off and commented actually on the BSI website on the AFDDs.
Did you really?
Yeah, because that was the last thing he said on there, and I thought I've been meaning to do it for weeks, and I actually went and did it. So
I didn't watch it all the way to the end because obviously I'm hard at work doing stuff, and you know, what was the final thoughts on AFDDs from the legend that is a Davo Savo?
Go on, Mark.
Yeah, I think he's demonstrated the benefits of them, but there's obviously the concerns that we've all discussed before to do with the cost and the fact that the regs are kind of excluding them on shower circuits and other heavy loaded appliances, which is where they'll actually work best. So in America, where they are used extensively, they operate on a lower voltage, so you have higher currents through all of the circuits, and they work very well on that basis. But in this country, at 230 volts, to get them to operate, you need quite a bit of current going through them, and obviously for lighting circuits and stuff, they're just not going to work. But for some reason, on the reg, they've excluded circuits above 32 amps, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
How many shower switches are burnt out?
Yeah, cooker switches. The amount I've gone to, it makes perfect sense of anything 32 amp or over to have them, not the other way around, 100%.
So because the theory goes that they're not... you're not getting enough current down the lighting circuit to trip them.
Yeah, there's nothing, especially nowadays with the LEDs, you're not getting enough pull or enough surge or arc between the circuits to actually disrupt the AFDD, so it will never trip.
Yeah.
Go on, Nick, sounding like you know what you're talking about. Disrupt as well.
I watched the video. Nice one, Davo. As Sam would do.
If you were on Twitter, you would have seen Mr. Bridgman post today that his AFD's been tripping.
Yes, deep in his hibernation cave in the Pacific Northwest, his dishwasher keeps tripping out on the old AFDD.
He's blaming the dishwasher, but I'm not sure he's talked him down actually inside his consumer unit properly.
Well, there is a suggestion that he doesn't have a torque screwdriver.
Well, we know what happens there. My video.
Oh yeah, your video on what was it? Fireboard.
Something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I had a suggestion. A couple of people messaged me as well. I mean, the video's done really well. It's been up 2 days. It hit like 30k views, which is epic. Well, I'm just saying, Sam. And I messaged Big Clive. Do you know who Big Clive is?
Yes, I know who Big Clive is.
So to see, a few people say you should send it to him. I thought it'd be interesting to see. I didn't realise he had like over 500,000 subs. It's like 650,000.
Yeah,
So
he's
near what I've got.
But is he an electrician or is he like a technician?
He's just a technical guy. Yeah. But I thought it'd be interesting to send him the breakers, the RCDs to tear apart and see the thermal damage and everything inside them. Whether or not he gets back to me is a different, thing. But I thought
It's gonna be like, who's this peasant Bundy?
Rude again.
Who's this peasant Bundy with his 20,000 subs? Move.
25. Thank you.
Right, you're right. That's gone up a bit lately, isn't it?
Mate, the past couple of days, and normally I hit 100 a day if it's usual. No, I'm not rubbing it in. I'm just saying it's progressing well. I upload regularly and all that sort of stuff. And I hit 25k a week ago, and then to now at the moment I'm like 200 off 26k. So God knows.
You're welcome.
I was so
Oh,
excited.
here we go.
My channel went up to 73 subs from 40 in a week, and I cleared 100 watch hours. And then GSH put on about I had 30 million watch minutes in about 18 months on Twitter today. That's like insane.
What? 30 million?
Yeah, if you look on 30 million watch minutes. If you look on Twitter today, Gary put a post.
What, since the beginning of his channel, sort of thing?
Yes.
I don't know if it was that long. It might not have been the whole.
I would have thought so, to be honest.
I think it was a week. Oh yeah.
Let me see how many watch minutes I've got real quick here. Yeah.
10.
I'm doing quite well at the moment. In 28 days. Here we got Gaz's here. Thanks for all the support. YouTube channel has just gone through 30 million minutes viewed time. Yeah, so that's since the beginning.
Big
so
up.
in the past 28 days, I've had 3.9 million minutes watched.
Oh,
Yeah.
you.
Here we go. Well, I'll put how much I've earned as well. There we go. That's. Can you see that? Oh, it's bad. 3.9 million views in 28 days. I'll read it out to you. So watch time in the past 28 days, 3.9 million views, 438.8 thousand.
Wow.
Subscriber change, 2,500, and your estimated revenue, 2,132.96.
Well, I can beat that.
That's dollars, by the way. It's not pounds. That's
I
dollars.
can beat that. Are you ready? Yeah. So, where I broke the internet. So I had 450 million views. Watch time is 1 billion minutes. Estimated revenue is 654 million pounds. How do you feel?
Wow.
Brilliant. I feel very inadequate.
You should. Anyway, moving on from Nick's humble brag.
No, I'm not brag.
It's
I'm not
interesting.
trying to brag.
because-
I think like if I was to find out when I spoke to Plumber Parts and he let me know, he's on like 196,000 subscribers. To ask him questions and him tell me was so fast. I was absolutely like in awe of what he was saying. It was great. So when someone else is up and coming and I'm ahead of them, it's interesting stuff to listen to. It really is.
He's
Definitely
a
is.
beast. He's a beast.
Plumber Parts, yeah, he's a nice guy, really nice guy.
I think it's time for that moment. So,
I don't.
listen.
Can I do something different this week? It's sort of tools related.
Let's do that, Marco. Go on.
What, do you want me to do it now?
Yeah.
Let's
I
all
started
do
a
it.
little-
Let's all do
little-
something different. Oh, hang on. What's he got? I see that. What's that?
I started a little competition a few weeks ago on Instagram for these that TIS have given to Apprentice 1-to-1. And this is the third week now we're giving them away. But this one's going to run for a couple of weeks, so this will go out before the competition ends. But basically, it's for people to tell a story that they're proud of in some way. So it can be about an employer or an apprentice or someone else in the industry, anything related to the electrical industry you like, manufacturer or a product. Tag yourself in the post on Instagram and we'll choose a winner based on the good positive stories that come out. So that's just to try and encourage people to share some positive stuff rather than all
That's
the
lovely, man.
pictures
Nice, mate.
and
Nice.
everywhere. So it's a safe isolation kit. It's the full lock-off kit. You've got proving unit, voltage indicators, some MCB locks and your warning signs, little pouch to keep it all in. There's actually 2 or 3 bags in there for all of it. There's more than shown on the front cover. So
See,
pretty
now
decent.
that's a rarity that it's got the proving unit in it as well. A lot of the lockout kits, they're not coming with a proving unit.
It's the first lockout kit I've seen that includes a voltage indicator and a proving unit. Normally, it's just literally the lock and a few,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's it.
that's a
To get it into apprentice,
marker.
to get it into apprentices' minds, or anyone who's just coming into the industry right at the start, about how important that is a good thing. And Steve at TIS is a big promoter of that. I think he's done stuff with the Steve Willis College already and other people through YouTube and Instagram giving these kits away. So I was pleased to be involved through Apprentice 1-to-1, and just trying to get as many people to enter as possible. So
let's just do Apprentice 1-to-1 a little bit of justice here. I've had some good conversations about Apprentice 1-to-1 in the last couple of weeks, and Mark, give us a little rundown of what you've been like, the figures around Apprentice 1-to-1, bearing in mind it's just you by yourself hooking people up. So you've done fantastically well. Let's have a bit of a humble brag from Mark about this.
Well, on a daily basis, I probably getting on for 150 DMs on Instagram, probably 100 or so emails that come in through the website. So I'm trying to get people to inquire through the website because it's easier to then share their data. That's the thing that's a bit tricky, sharing people's information when they're just contacting you through social media. It's not as easy when you start passing it out to employers and stuff. But yeah, it's just fishing through all of that. So some of it's people asking for help training for their AM2 assessments, but obviously not been in college for months. It's not just about getting jobs. And the fact that we've got Gary Hayes and other people in the LinkedIn group is fantastic. So they can offer, there's all the videos on GSH for that already. We wouldn't even attempt to replicate that because it's pointless. That's just brilliant. And yeah, just getting back to people about all the different inquiries. Unfortunately, there's not as many employers as we need, not by a long shot, but we get maybe 2 or 3 employers a day come through.
How many successful link-ups have you made?
The last count, which was Thursday last week, it was 280 since April.
So
Nice,
since
nice.
April, you've linked up 280 apprentices with potential employers.
They're employed, not potential, if they've had employment.
Wow.
The actual number of apprentices who've been in touch looking for jobs is over 4,000. So that shows you the scale of it. We've obviously not helped a lot more people than we have helped find work, which is sad, but that just shows the state of play, really. And I think that's from before COVID as well. It's easy to just blame COVID and furlough and everything, but I think this has been going on for quite a long time, that we don't have enough apprentice positions in general. And, that's something I'd like to try and help change if we can.
Apprentice 1-to-1's making great steps, man. I think it's something. I think you're going to go down as a bit of a legend because of it, mate. Because actually, and I know you're not doing it for that, but I think you will go down as a legend because actually, it don't exist in the industry. What you're doing hasn't ever existed really in the capacity it is, and the fact that you're doing it in your own time off your own back is to be commended, mate.
Yeah, well done, mate. Definitely.
Yeah, well done.
Before I forget as well, just text me later or tomorrow morning, Mark, because I'm filming tomorrow, and I'll do a piece right at the beginning. I mean, it might really shoot you in the foot because you might end up getting a hell of a lot of apprentices messaging you. But just remember, shut up, Sam. Don't roll your eyes at me, you fat onion. Anyway, but yeah, message me after and send me some information. I'll say I already know what you do and how you do it, but how to word it and how to say it, and I'll put it on there, and hopefully we can help some more people out as well.
Oh, nice one. I appreciate that. I mean, just sharing your story is good enough, Nick, that what you're doing with Adam. That's exactly what I want to try and encourage, that there's small employers, small limited companies, self-employed people who are willing to take an apprentice on. Because when I, and Sam as well, probably when we were 18 years old, Sam, there was loads of small employers doing that, and it just doesn't seem to happen as much anymore.
Yeah, it was a big thing for me, to do it, but he allowed me, while not paying him to start with, to figure out a system how it would work. And as soon as I figured out it would work, it's just flown since then. Really has. So
let's dive into that a little bit, because actually, how much, so obviously you've got Adam as an apprentice,
yes.
And he works for you. And do you make money from his employment?
Yes.
Do you make more money?
Didn't before.
Do you make more money from his employment than you did before, in terms of, has it added profitability, extra profit to your company because you have him now working for you as an apprentice?
Completely honestly, 100%. To start with, obviously, we had to slow things down. I had to spend more hours teaching him screwdriver. The thing is, his dad was a mechanic. He already knew the ins and the outs of hand tools. But obviously teach them to strip cable, go in lofts, be careful in lofts, capping, chasing, breathing apparatus, PPE, all this different 101 other things that we all know, and us lot all here know that it's just part of our job. Try and teach it from scratch, but try and not get too annoyed. And luckily, because I've got kids, you know, when you're trying to teach someone something and when they keep doing it wrong, previously, before you had kids, you get annoyed, but when you know you've got kids, you just step back, take step by step, run through it again. That with him, but he picked up so quickly. And, you know, I wouldn't say lost money, but I lost time on jobs because I was doing it. But it came to a stage about, I'd say about 3 or 4 months down the line where he would then start passing me things. He knows I'm doing a fuse board, and before I'd look for it, he's there going, there you go, there you go. And it's just, and then.
He's a funny one though, Adam, because he is like, when I met him, yeah, that's what I'm saying. When I met him, he was about it. Like he wants to be an electrician, but he's not doing it because, well, I didn't have anything else to do, so I went and got an apprenticeship. He's doing it because he wants to be an electrician, loves the job, loves the trade. To be fair, he's spoiled rotten with the tools he's got. Because obviously you've hooked him up with, like, mate, he has got a toolkit that 90% of electricians will just want to die for. He's got Weira, Nipex, Bosch.
All the Unilight stuff, all the Vita Pro Pack. He has the same stuff I has. And obviously, a lot of the stuff in the past, when he first started, before I started YouTube, or as the beginning, I bought most of my tools. But I would never spend an amount of money like on Vera and Nipex, because in my eyes, the amount I used them and the amount I damaged them and hit them and screwdrivers and chisels, I couldn't afford to pay for it, and thinking it was justifiable. But then obviously, as things went on, I got sent for free. I did say to him most of the time, if you send me for free, you send it to Adam, or it's not a deal sort of thing. And it was a bit of a risk, and they did. And he cares for his toolkit, he cleans it, he looks after it, he doesn't smash it with a hammer like I do. And because I told him not to.
We all do it.
Yeah, but when I bought a new tester, I gave my old tester, he looks after it, he cleans it, he wipes it down with big wipes every now and then. And you can see the care and attention. And because he, like me, a bit, I mean, not really, but I wouldn't say OCD, but really try and put your effort in. Like you're doing a fuse, but you put your effort into it. You're doing one job, you make it as best as you can do. He's copied me with that a bit, and I don't know, it's just working out really well. And now per jobs where we go to certain things, if we're doing rewires, I make money on him so many times over, to the point where he knows it, but equally his turn will come. He's not bothered about that. He still gets paid, and when we're doing overtime work, he gets paid more money for it. Like, it's not an issue with it. And with the past couple of days, I've had a couple of days off. He's had a couple of days off. I paid him for it. It's not an issue. And he's in the same boat as me. He works for Harper State. He doesn't get paid any more. But equally, when we finish at 1 o'clock, sometimes he doesn't get paid any less. That's the sort of swinging and roundabouts. But because we're friends behind the scenes as well, it works out sometimes better. It really does.
Now, Mark, you're the same with Matthew. He's really diligent. You posted some of his work, well, quite a bit of his work lately.
His fuse wasn't nice.
It's second to none, and you must be very proud of it.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I started trying to share it. There's a lot of people who've been getting in touch with Apprentice One-to-One saying they're going to give up because they can't find employers and get back into it. So it's just to try and show them that once you do get through this crap we're all going through, there's a kid there who's 22 years old and he's been through it. He's now out earning decent money, doing this kind of work. You can do it as well. Just kind of keep going. So with his agreement, he wasn't overly impressed to start with that I said I was going to take shots of his consumer units. But yeah, he said that was all right, and that's what I've been doing. I've got 4 actually to go and see that he's done tomorrow, so I'm going to go get a few pictures of them as well. And I'm hoping he's going to start trying to tell his story a little bit as well on camera, because I think that's more interesting than a lot of what I got to say anyway. So
yeah, we'll drag it out of him, definitely.
Drag him out of his shell.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to get him on here instead of you, Mark.
Yeah, well, go for it.
Well, listen, man. Listen, I think it's been a very informative chat. Amy, what have you got to add to this?
Sorry, we've been quiet for ages. Yeah.
No,
I'm just listening. I find it all really interesting. I listen to you guys. I feel like I don't have as much to give because I don't have the experience that you all have, but it's just interesting for me.
Sam, you have no experience. Shut up. It's just about me and Mark.
I know I don't learn much from you, Sam.
What?
I don't learn anything from you.
Except how to answer the phone as quickly as possible. Yes.
See, Nick comes up to me and goes, "Oh, can you chase it out?" And my phone, and I was like, "Mate, I've got to take this."
Yeah, I swear he has a little thing on his watch where you can click it and his phone will ring. Oh, phone call, mate. Sorry.
Mate,
That's the missus driving me insane.
No, just business. I've got business to do.
Networking. I'm networking.
It's a deal for you. What are you talking about, mate?
Yeah, he says that every time.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Right. Well, listen, lads. Lads.
Rude.
Well, if you had chimed in at all, I might have remembered who you was.
Rude.
Oh, so sorry, Amy. Amy, we'll do a podcast, you, me, and Mark next time, right?
Yeah, I can't wait.